Okay, welcome back. We're going to do Old MacDonald Had a Farm. A few things we need to discuss before we play it. The first thing is the last note in the song. It's a dotted half note. Normally a half note by itself just gets 2 counts, very simple. With the dot next to it, again, it's simple, it's just different. The dot's going to add a 3rd beat to it. There's a complicated formula why it's 3 beats, but for right now we just need to know when you have the dot next to the half note, as sometimes we call it vanilla notes, it's going to get the 3rd beat added on. Now on the second line we have a lot of 1/8 notes which look like quarter notes, just single quarter note, chocolate filled. But when you have the 2 notes together which look chocolate filled and they look like quarter notes but they have the beam connecting them, then they become a half beat long. Instead of full beat, it's a half a beat. So you'll see some of them in pairs, and you also see some of them in groups of 4. Okay, so in fact, let's play that first, that 3rd line, so that you can hear what that's going to sound like with those 1/8 notes in it. Starts on G, and then you have a few D's in there. Here it is again. Okay, now the rest of the piece, all 3 lines, the first, the second, and the 4th line, they're pretty much the exact same thing. So if you can play the first line of the piece, you know 3/4 of the whole tune. So that's not a whole lot more to learn. Now, it's going to use the D, which we know is 6 fingers, and it's going to use the E, which is 5 fingers. And when we play the E and we play the D, we have to be gentle with the air so it doesn't get squeaky and that the notes don't crack upwards very high. We have to be aware that the air is not being blown out, or the candle's not being blown out. You just want to bend the flame on the candle. So listen to the first 2 measures. Watch my bottom hand. Notice I'm staying close, and I'm letting we don't want the hand to fly around like you're waving, and you want to make sure you're staying flat, not tippy-toe or like a claw. Okay? By staying flat, you get the holes completely covered with your fingers. So here's the first 2 measures. Take a look at the bottom hand. Here it is again. So long as you keep in mind how you're blowing and that you're playing flat fingered, it should come out very simple. Alright, so here's the whole piece. Okay, so we'll see you next time.